Hello everyone. Today we are going to study the structure of the spinal cord and arrangement of the white matter, gray matter and its various nuclei. The nervous system is the most important organization which controls and integrates the different bodily functions and likewise maintain a stability and equilibrium. This is now divided into central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system consists of brain and spinal cord, whereas the peripheral nervous system consists of craniospinal nerve and visceral nervous system. The craniospinal nerve contains 12 pairs of cranial nerve and 31 pairs of spinal nerve, while visceral nervous system contains sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. Spinal cord, being surrounded by its covering, lies loosely within the vertebral column and extends from the foramina magnum as far as down the interspace between the 12th thoracic segment and the lower border of the first lumbar vertebra. During the early developmental phase, the spinal cord is extended up to the lower end of the sacrum. But with the further development and mostly at the 4th month of the intrauterine life, the vertebral column is elongated more rapidly than the spinal cord. Due to inappropriate development of the spinal cord and the vertebral column, the spinal cord being encroached to the medulla oblongata and is pulled upwards in the spinal canal and causing its caudal end to reach the lower border of the first lumbar vertebra in the adults. The spinal cord is mostly cylindrical in shape and is flattened anterior-posteriorly. Spinal cord from its upper limit to the tip of the conus medullaris is about 45 cm in the male and 43 cm in the female. The weight of the spinal cord is about 35 grams. The brain and spinal cord remain covered by three membranes named as meninges, which are from outside inwards are known as dura mater, arachnoid matter and pia mater. Under the arachnoid matter, there is subarachnoid space which contains CSF, that is cerebrospinal fluid. The primary function of these coverings is to protect and nourish the brain. Spinal cord has two spindle-shaped swellings, namely as cervical and lumbar enlargement. At the level of cervical 6 and lumbar 3, these two portions of spinal cord innervate upper and lower extremities respectively. Below the lumbar enlargement, spinal cord rapidly narrows down to a cone-shaped termination called as conus medullaris. A slender non-nervous filamental cord, filum terminal, extends from conus medullaris downwards to the fundus of the dural sac at the level of the second sacral vertebra. The spinal cord is a continuous and unsegmented structure intrinsically with 31 pairs of nerves emerging from it. Each segment of the spinal cord gives rise to dorsal and ventral root filaments. Dorsal and ventral root together form a single pair of nerves. 31 segments of the spinal cord corresponds to 8 pairs of cervical and 12 pairs of thoracic, 5 pairs of lumbar and 5 pairs of sacral and 1 pair of coccygeal nerves. As the cord ends at the level of lower border of the first lumbar vertebra, spinal segments evidently do not correspond numerically with the vertebra overlying them. Thus, during early developmental phase, each segment of the spinal cord corresponds closely with the respective embryogenic vertebra. The spinal nerve also pass at laterally to the intervertebral foramina. But later, as the vertebral column develops more rapidly than the spinal cord, the segments of the later do not correspond to the respective vertebra. This is the reason the interval between the spinal origin of the nerve and the vertebra exists in different from segment to segment. Each spinal nerve is formed by two nerve roots. First is posterior or dorsal root, second is anterior or ventral root. As you can see in the figure, the afferent sensory fibers which carry sensory information from different part of the body to the spinal cord and brain is formed by posterior or dorsal root. This posterior root has a small bulging which is called as posterior root ganglion or dorsal root ganglion, which is formed by a soma of neurons. The dendrites of these neurons form sensory nerve fibers and their axons reach the spinal cord. You can see in the figure that the ventral root or the anterior root is formed by the efferent motor nerve fibers that carry motor information from the brain and spinal cord to different part of the body. Both the nerve roots on either side leave the spinal cord and pass through the corresponding intervertebral foramina. On the anterior surface of the spinal cord, there is a deep furrow measuring about 3 mm known as anterior median fissure. Lateral to this anterior median fissure on either side, there is a slight depression, also called as anterior lateral sulcus. It denotes the exit of the anterior nerve root. On the posterior surface, there is a depression called as posterior medial sulcus. This is continuous with the thin glial partition called as posterior medial septum, which extend inside the spinal cord about 5 mm and reach up to the gray matter. On either side, lateral to this posterior medial sulcus, there is a posterior intermediate sulcus. As you can see in the figure, it is continuous with the posterior intermediate septum, which extends deep up to 3 mm in the spinal cord. Lateral to the posterior intermediate sulcus is the posterior lateral sulcus. This denotes the entry of the posterior nerve root. Gray matter is chiefly composed of the three elements, that is nerve cells, neuroglial cells, nerve fibers, that is dendrites or axons, which are mostly the unmyelinated nerve fibers supported by a group of neuroglial cells. The gray matter is placed centrally in the form of wings of butterfly, as you can see in the figure, and also resembles as a capital letter H. In the center of the gray matter, there is a central canal called as spinal canal. It is lined by cubical ciliated epithelium. It contains cerebrospinal fluid, that is CSF, which circulates throughout the canal. The central canal actually pierces through the isthmus of the two symmetrical lateral halves of the gray matter. Parts of the gray matter in front of the central canal is called as anterior gray commissure, and the same on the behind of the central canal is called as posterior gray commissure. The ventral and the dorsal portion of each lateral half of the gray matter are called as ventral and dorsal gray horn respectively. In addition to that, the gray matter forms a small projection in between the anterior and posterior horns in all the thoracic and first two lumbar segments. It is called as lateral gray horn. White matter of the spinal cord surrounds the gray matter and consists of myelinated and unmyelinated fibers. The myelinated fibers are predominating. It has been described that the white matter is incompletely divided into symmetrical two lateral halves. The lateral half or the white matter on each side is divided into three compartments, namely the anterior white column, lateral white column, and posterior white column by the fibers of ventral and dorsal spinal roots. White matter in the front of the gray commissure is known as anterior white commissure, and same in the behind the gray commissure is known as posterior white commissure. Ascending and descending tracts and transverse fibers are passing through the white matter to occupy their respective portions. The gray matter of the spinal cord contains two types of multipolar neuron. First is Golgi type 1 neuron, which is having long axon and usually found in the anterior horn, which is motor in function. Axons of this neuron form the long tracts of the spinal cord. Golgi type 2 neuron are having short axon, which are found mostly in the posterior horn, which are sensory in the function. Axons of this neuron pass towards the anterior horn of the same side or the opposite side. The nuclei of the spinal cords are the clusters of various neurons. They are arranged in posterior gray horn, anterior gray horn, and in the lateral gray horn. As you can see in the picture, The nuclei present in the posterior gray horn, there are totally 4 types. The first one is the marginal nucleus. These all are in the sensory function, which receive impulses from various receptors of the body through posterior nerve roots. Marginal nucleus is also called as posterior marginal nucleus, which is present at the tip of the posterior gray horn, and it is found at the all level of the spinal cord. It carries the sensation of fast pain and temperature. The second one is substantia gelatinosa of the Rolando. It is found in a cap-like gelatinous material at the apex of the posterior horn, situated in all the levels of the spinal cord. It is formed by small neuron. As you can see in the picture, it carries the sensation of slow pain and thermal. The next comes is the chief sensory nucleus or nucleus proprius. It carries the sensation of crude touch and pain from the ipsilateral part of the face. It is situated ventral to the substantia gelatinosa. It carries poorly defined function. It is present in all the segments of the spinal cord. The next comes is the dorsal nucleus of Clark. It carries the stretch receptor, the functions of conscious kinesthetic sensation. It is well-defined neuron. It occupies the basal portion of the posterior horn. This nucleus is found in spinal segment of C8 and L3. Next comes the nuclei present in the lateral gray horn. The lateral gray horn is having the neurons, the cluster of the neuron called as intermediolateral nucleus. The neurons of this nucleus give rise to sympathetic preganglionic fibers, and it extends between the T1 and L2 segment of the spinal cord. Next comes the anterior gray horn. It contains the motor neurons, which are involved in the motor function. These nuclei are present in all the levels of the spinal cord. It is having major 3 parts. First is alpha, next gamma and Renshaw shell. These alpha motor neurons are large in size and multipolar. These neurons leaves the spinal cord through the anterior root and ends in the group of skeletal muscle. So it is also called as extrafusal fibers. Gamma motor neurons are smaller in size compared to the alpha motor neurons and scattered among the alpha motor neurons. These neurons send axons to intrafusal fibers of the muscle spindle. The next is Renshaw cell, which are very small in the size. Renshaw cells are the inhibitory neuron, which plays very much important role in synaptic inhibiting function of the spinal cord. In 1950, Bro-Rex identified the layers of the gray matter in the spinal cord that were arranged by structure and function instead of by dividing them according to the simple location. He has conducted the experiment on a neonatal cat. By studying, he classified them into 10 types, that is laminae 1 to laminae 10. Laminae present in posterior gray horn or laminae 1 includes marginal nucleus. Laminae 2 and 3 contains substantia gelatinosa of the Rolando. Laminae 3, 4 and 5 contains chief sensory nucleus. Laminae 6 contain dorsal nucleus of the Clark. Lamina in lateral gray horn having only one lamina. It is the nucleus of intermediolateral nucleus. Laminae present in anterior gray horn is having 8 and 9, which is motor in function. The laminae around the central canal is the last one, which is lamina 10. It contains neuroglia, which forms the supporting tissue.